Hey, what's up, y'all? It's me, LSP, and it's time to talk about the Connors because it'll be on tonight. So let's pick up right where we left off. This episode was called, first of all, season 1, episode 8, Oh Sister, Where Art Thou? We had 3 stories. It was, I don't never know what to do with my hands when I'm in the studio. What do I do with my hands? Anyway, there were 3 stories. It was Dan gets a girlfriend, Harris gets busted, and Peter and Jackie do some role play. All right, Peter and Jackie do a project. So first one was Harris gets caught drinking in the woods, and the cop brings her home, and Becky is the one at home. So the cop turns her over to Becky, and she's expecting a lecture, and Becky basically tells her how not to get caught next time. And they sit down, and Harris is like, I thought you didn't like me. And Becky was like, well, you remember when you were 8 and I let you watch Kill Bill? Well, your mother didn't like that, and from then on, I didn't really know how to interact with you. So they hugged it out, and they made a pact not to tell Darlene. Well, of course, you know Darlene finds out. She has to find out. Harris had left her sweater in the cop's car, so the cop brought it back, gave it to Darlene. So Darlene goes to talk to Harris about it, and Harris is like, I'm smart, I'm this, I've got great SAT scores, and I make A's in school. And Darlene, of course, her mind is thinking, so did your Aunt Becky. So she actually just says it out loud. She's like, do you want to end up like your Aunt Becky? Well, of course, Becky's in the house. She drops her laundry and she runs out. And Darlene says, oh, Becky was in the house? So she later on goes and finds Becky, who's playing pool. They talk about some old things. They hash it out. Becky tells her that she really felt like she wasn't there for her when Mark died. And Darlene said, and that she never feels like Darlene needs her. So Becky's hurt. And Darlene tells her, I do need you. Why do you think I came back home? So they had a little kind of humor, and that was done. So let's get on to Dan has a girlfriend, right? Well, so the lady thinks, the lady, Louise, you may know her as Peggy Bundy. But, yeah, Louise, she really liked Dan. She's the bartender at Becky's restaurant, and she also went to school with Dan and Roseanne back in the day, but Roseanne got Dan. So with Roseanne gone, she's now making her move. Well, Dan doesn't really think she is, even though she's been giving him free beer and inviting him to concerts and stuff. Dan thinks, she just wants to be a friend. So Becky goes and she tells Darlene and Jackie about it. And of course, Jackie's like, oh, we got to tell him. We got to help Jackie. Jackie's humor is by far the best to me in this. But anyway, so they end up talking to Dan. Jackie does. And Dan's like, she doesn't like me. And Jackie's like, yes, she does, man. So Dan goes to the lady and explains that he still has a thing for his wife, and he's just not ready. But they go to the concert, and the lady says, you're not going to get any more free beer. So that was it with that story. Peter and Jackie's project. So it's Peter's project that, Peter is back in school and Jackie's paying for his degree, and now he's making her play along in his little role play for his medieval Norway class. They have to simulate the life of a couple from back then. So Jackie's wearing this whole garb. She is taking a wire brush. She's scraping the fur off of squirrel, and many of them, because she said it's hibernation season, so they have to eat a bunch of them. She's doing that. She's trying to cut fruit with the rock, and dude, Peter, comes in with a fish from the fish market. Okay? Jackie's like, I'm doing all this stuff, and you got this? And he's like, oh, but I bartered for it, and basically saying he paid for it. And then he tells Jackie she has to prepare it while he goes in the living room, and does his man stuff. Well, Jackie's like, no, I'm not having it. He ends up taking the fish and leaving. And they end up in their apartment where Jackie ends up telling him, I don't want to do this anymore. I can't play along with your little game. I'm done. She didn't break up with him, but she did basically break up with her Norwegian husband because she said, let's say that I was pulled off by a wild boar and killed. And now my Norwegian spirit is going to McDonald's. So that was it, y'all. I'm excited for the Connors. tonight. I can't wait to watch it. I will definitely be back making our videos a little more on a consistent basis. Shout out to Ed. I do believe that was your name. Happy New Year to you, my friend. Thank you for getting me back on track, y'all. That's it. I'm done. Take care of yourselves. As always, no fear and no regrets. I'll see you next week for the Connors.
Quiet.